So, another JJBuckley unboxing here. I got two boxes. Just going to do the one unboxing. So, recently, they had their end of year sale. Anywhere from, I think, 25% to 50%. Maybe they increased the prices before those discounts applied. Either way, I knew some of the wines. I knew some of the prices. So, I jumped on it, and I think I bought around 2 cases worth. So we'll do an unboxing for one of them. While I do this today, having some Pirouette, the Philip Milka made wine out of Washington State, attempting to be an old world Bordeaux. Kind of feels more modern day Bordeaux than I would say old world. It is old world style because it's got all the 5 Bordeaux varietals, but in a modernish style since it's sort of big and extracted, but extremely good. Not overly oaked, but well oaked, and just a really great one. It's the one I didn't do the unboxing, but I bought 12 of these, and I was going to do a hokey unboxing where I did, oh look, another Pirouette, oh another Pirouette, but I didn't end up doing it. I just opened them and put them in the wine fridges where I could. But a great wine, really dark. I've been drinking it actually the last 2 or 3 nights, and just a great wine. And I don't typically buy 12 of anything, so when I do, it's sort of something special. And I really felt like, I know the price is around 50 or 60, but at 50 or 60, this is like, in Napa, would cost 100. So, just a great bottle of wine. So, without further ado, let's see what we got. Because I don't even remember what I ordered. So, okay. I remember this wine. It's a new label. Franciscan. So I guess when I was a lot younger, Franciscan on every shelf of every liquor store. So this was their Bordeaux, their Meritage, which is just a blend of Bordeaux grapes, their Magnificat. Used to buy this all the time, had a different label, and it was always really, really good. And I don't know what any of the prices of these are, at least if I do, I don't remember. Haven't had this one in a while, and I wanted to try it again. So our finest lots of Cab. True to, yeah. So Cab heavy, 2017. See how it is. You know, it's been a long time. I think the price was very, very good for this wine. I don't think Franciscan really sells like it used to. I don't see it as much on shelves. There's just so many wines on the shelves now, especially out of California. Franciscan probably been replaced by any number of other California producers as sort of a go-to sub $20 wine. This was the Magnificat. I think this used to cost 30 to 40. I think I got it for 20 something. So, worth trying again. And let's see what's next. So, I did Barolo 2015, another great vintage out of Piedmont. So, I don't know this one. Price was probably good, or really good. I mean, I believe to get a good Barolo Barbaresco, which are probably the two greatest places on the planet for Nebbiolo, and this is a good vintage, you got to spend 50-60 bucks, and that's just for a really good one. Obviously this one's far more expensive. Some of the Barbarescos by Gaia are 200, 300, 400, 500, 400. So I think I got all these sub 40 because of the discounts. So I don't know this producer, but excited to try it. There's very, very, very rarely a time I drink a Barolo or Barbaresco, and I don't think it's great. They give you buy anything that's sub $30, non-discounted, sometimes you run into some trouble. So, ironically. So I grab a Barbaresco next. So again, another producer I don't know. 2015. This actually says from where in Barbaresco. Probably why I bought this one. And yeah, just another one. Just really, really love Barbaresco and Barolo. And recently in one of my other videos, the Valtellina's Nebbiolo grape, Northern Italy, Lombardy, not in the Piedmont region. So just things that from the Nebbiolo grape to me are very, very good. This is becoming a pattern here. 2016 Negretti Barolo. Don't know anything about this one either, except that all these were probably priced really, really well. Oh, I do know this producer. So pretty sure I know that producer. And it's Azienda Agricola Negretti. So we'll see. 15% alcohol. That's very, very high. But they've been very ripe vintages in Europe in those years, 15, 16. Really good vintages. This one might be another one. Oh, so this price must have been so good that I bought two, although I don't remember buying two Barolos. I'm going to have to double check my order, but there's two here. Or this might have been a previous order. It's possible. It's possible this was a previous order. Anyway, I'm not going to be too upset, but I would definitely try one of these probably in the next week or two because I got two of them. Okay, another Italian wine though. So I got an Amarone. I've never had this one either, but prices were good. Good Amarones, $50, $60, $70. This was definitely sub 50. I think sub 40 because of the discount. So 2016 from Tedeschi. Always like a good Amarone. I always like having a few Amarones. Styles, it's changing. You know, the Amarones I learned to drink when I first got into wine they just had a very specific pruny, raisiny character. Dry, but a pruny, raisiny character. I could almost sniff an Amarone and know it. It's changed. There's this newer, lighter style of Amarone that I couldn't even tell you. And it's not that the grapes are Corvina, Rondinella, Molinara, CRM, but the style, because they dry those grapes out on straw mats or other methods, so they concentrate, and so the wines are typically bigger and they have a raisinated type of flavor, but a dry wine, and we'll see. Hopefully this goes back to that style that I really like, and typically a higher alcohol. This one's 16.5. This is a big Amarone, or probably will be a huge Amarone, so I might really enjoy that, but I probably need to have that with something that could stand up to it. So totally shift the pace. They had a number of aged white Rieslings, and that really excited me. This is a 1999 Riesling out of Germany, and it's Spätlese, so it's going to be a sweeter wine. So, but 1999, so the flavors will be just awesome. I'm talking about a 21-year-old sweet wine. Not overly sweet. So the ripeness, Spätlese, so it starts at Cabernet, Spätlese, Auslese, Trockenbrenner Auslese, Bernauslese, Trockenbrenner Auslese, then ice wines. And those are just how ripe the fruit was before they picked it. And they don't say sweet. You just need to know that Spätlese means that it's been hanging a little bit riper. So it's probably off dry. So it's probably not super sweet. It's probably more off dry, but who knows? And it's a 99. I don't think I've ever had this old a Riesling. So really cool. So I can drink that whenever. And I think I bought a number of those. So here's a 2001. Slightly different. So German wine labels are, gosh, I mean, this is out of the Mosel. So I know the region, the Mosel. But the rest, when you talk about villages and things, Germany gets really complicated. But this is a 2000 wine Spätlese as well. So in that same category, still 20 years old. Will be fun. So another Spätlese, but 2003. But it says Halbtrocken, means dry. So this is a dry Spätlese. So typically, you don't see this often, where they have a riper grapes, but they get rid of the sugars entirely to make a dry version. So typically it'll be more of a full-bodied Riesling. You don't see this that often. You most certainly don't see it in a 2003 that often. So another one out of the Mosel. So again, something just different, very different. These three wines, I've never had anything like these ever. Something totally different to try, and it'll be really cool to try them. And I mean, I'd love to share them, but you really probably have to know what you're drinking here and appreciate that you're drinking some very old wine. Old white wine, I believe, is an absolute taste to be desired. You need to get accustomed to it. I see another Riesling over here. So a Cabernet, so 2003, so Cabernet, remember, that was the first level of 2003. So this is part 2. I got interrupted on part 1. But a 2003 Riesling Cabernet, same producer. So I got 4 of these. And this is less ripe than the Spotlaces. So this is the first level of ripeness. And Pradekatsuin, it's the quality. So none of these have the other sign of high quality. And I learned the German stuff many moons ago, but I'm not the sharpest on all the layers of German wine. I know certainly the ripeness levels, when you see that, you're definitely at a good quality level when you see those, but you really need to know how to read the label, because you don't even know what you're buying. It doesn't say sweet wine on the back. There's nothing to indicate that. So the average consumer would have a tough time. That's why German wines, I think, are, to me, the most complicated region in the world. Burgundy is very complicated, but because of the villages and the naming. But at the end of the day, if you buy something that says Premier Cru, Grand Cru, you're good. And it's Pinot Noir or it's Chardonnay, and then very rarely is it anything else. So, yes, in Germany there could be other grapes too. These spell out Riesling, all of them, but what type of Riesling, sweet, dry, is you got to know. And sometimes that Cabernet might be dry. It depends on the vintage. You know, I have no idea what the vintage in 2003 was. So one more wine, and it's got some tissue paper. I have no idea what this is. 2016. Let's just unwrap it. Christmas in January. So I really do like Chianti, and I like Sangiovese Brunello. Brunello being sort of Chianti on crack out of Tuscany. And Chianti has Chianti Classico, Chianti Classico Reserva, and then there's a new denomination called Chianti Classico Gran Selezione. And I think it's only been around a few years. And there's different rules, aging and vineyard. So they're trying to escalate the level of what Chianti can be. So sort of recently I had the Felsina. It's about a $50 bottle of Chianti, but probably the best Chianti I ever had. And of course the name now is eluding me, but it's a really awesome Chianti, the best Chianti, and the Chianti Classico Reserva, and it was in a great vintage. I think it was a 15 or 16. I should probably check my Vivino, but this is the same phone. So this is the first time I'm ever going to have a Gran Selezione to see if there's any big difference. Typically, when you get into Chiantis and you like Chiantis, and you're in that $20, $15 to $30 range, Reservas could be a little bit more. It's Roncio. It was Roncio, Felsina Roncio, I think is what it's called. When you get higher up to that one, that's 50. So that's like a specialty, though, for that group. There's also Chianti Rufina, another region. So Chianti Classico, Chianti Rufina, and then you have some others after that. And there's always the black chicken. And but then if you're going to go up, you go to Brunello. So Brunello's the obvious escalation to the 40, 50 and above, 60, 70, 80, 90. The Reservas get to about 80 to 150 or 200. I don't really think I've ever seen a Brunello above 150, 175. I'm sure they exist, but $40, $50. So second interruption of the night. So this video ends up being cut into 3 pieces. So be it. So I've never had a Gran Selezione. I don't know this Ricasoli. 2016 I know is a great vintage out of Tuscany for Chianti and Brunello. So it'll be cool to try this and just see if there's any real variance I can really tell. I think more aging, better fruit. They probably age it in newer barrels, things like that. The standard things that they typically do. They don't try to go to 100% new oak, because then they get over oaked. So there's always the balance, but really cool. Bottle's really nice. Actually, really nice bottle and label. So that's it for this box. I'm going to actually do the next box now. Might as well put these away, open up the next box, do the next video.